Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Vinny's Take. Tonight we're gonna work on the starting of the 1980s. First of all, the Kansas City Chiefs portion of this is done. Super Bowl portion is done. You won't see me talk about them being in the Super Bowl again until the night before. But the 49ers go to their first in 1981, at the end of the 1981 season. The 49ers go to Super Bowl 16. And that is our first topic of discussion tonight. On January 24th, 1982, from the Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, just outside of Detroit, the San Francisco 49ers, who won the NFC West finishing 13-3, coached by Bill Walsh, take on the Cincinnati Bengals, who finished 12-4, winning the AFC North, coached by Forrest Gregg. A surprise by both, and the 49ers were favored by 1. Looking at the scoring summary, if I can find it. Game summary. I should have stuck with. Okay, here we go. In the first quarter, Joe Montana ran the ball in from 1 yard out. Ray Wersching hit the extra point, and the 49ers led 7-0. Then in the second quarter, Earl Cooper caught an 11-yard reception from Joe Montana. Wersching hit the extra point, and the 49ers led 14-0. Ray Wersching then hit a 22-yard field goal to extend the 49er lead to 17-0. And right as the half was ending, Wersching hit a 26-yard field goal to give the 49ers a 20-0 lead. In the third quarter, Ken Anderson got the Bengals on the board, scrambling in from 5 yards out. Jim Breach hit the extra point, and the Bengals trailed 20-7. Dan Ross then caught a 4-yard touchdown reception by Ken Anderson. Jim Breach hit the extra point to cut the 49er lead to 20-14. And then something huge happened. The biggest goal line stand at the time in Super Bowl history as the 49ers stopped the Cincinnati Bengals, and Dan Ross on 4 straight plays inside the 2 to keep them out, and a tremendous tackle. I can't think of who did it. Actually, let me scroll up a little bit and I can read. Okay. San Francisco cornerback Ronnie Lunds and linebackers Buns and Jacksaw Reynolds tackled for no gain. Oh, that was Dan Johnson. The tackle was made by, I want to say, Dan Buns. Yep. Dan Buns. Alexander, who had caught the pass at the line of scrimmage in an open field tackle, corralled Alexander. Yeah, Dan Buns, however, corralled Alexander at the line of scrimmage and kept him from reaching the end zone. So that was a big play. So it's 20-14. The 49ers get the ball back, and Ray Wersching hits a 40-yard field goal in the fourth quarter to give the 49ers a 20-14 lead. And then Wersching hits a 23-yard field goal with 1:57 to go to extend the 49ers lead to 26-14. Bengals go right down the field as Dan Ross catches what was one of his 11 record-setting receptions for a 3-yard touchdown from Ken Anderson. Jim Breach hit the extra point, and the 49ers led 26-21, and that would be your final. And your MVP was Joe Montana, the 49ers quarterback. And shoot, I closed it. Did not mean to close it. Give me a second. Well, while I'm reopening it up, I've noticed a lot of pretty cool videos popping up on YouTube using various video game streams like Tecmo Bowl and NFL 2K, Sega Genesis Football, just to name a couple to show who you think would win between the 49ers and Bengals, or who the computers think would win. I'll have one of my own on the night before the Super Bowl, February 1st, using Madden 20 from EA Sports on the PlayStation 4 to determine a winner, as I believe it'll be the 4th straight year I've done this. Okay. Your leaders, your passing leader. Ken Anderson of the Cincinnati Bengals went 25 of 34 for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times, loss of 16. He did throw along a 49, that being to Chris Collinsworth. Your leading rusher of the game was Ricky Patton of the 49ers, 17 carries, 55 yards. And your leading receiver was the aforementioned Dan Ross. Actually, no, Ross had 11 receptions, but your leading in yardage was Chris Collinsworth, 5 receptions for 107 yards, including that long bomb of 49. He did fumble the ball once, too, and that proved costly. The 49ers get their first Super Bowl championship in their first appearance, and their Super Bowl record is now 1-0. The third matchup between the 49ers and Bengals occurs on December 26, 1982. In the strike-shortened season, the Chiefs come into the game at 2-5, coached by Marv Levy. Go Marv. Buffalo Bills legend, and the 49ers at 2-5, coached by Bill Walsh. Neither team was going to be participating in the Super Bowl tournament, which was held at the end of the '82 season. Kickoff at 1 p.m. at Arrowhead Stadium. Let's go to the scoring. In the first quarter, Nick Lowry hits a 40-yard field goal to give the Chiefs a 3-0 lead. Then Ray Wershing comes back with a 32-yard field goal to tie the game at 3. In the second quarter, Anthony Hancock of the Chiefs catches a 41-yard pass from Bill Kenny. Nick Lowry hits the extra point, and Kansas City leads 10-3 at the half. In the third quarter, Ray Wershing hits a 44-yard field goal to cut the Chiefs lead to 10-6. Then Wershing hits a 42-yard field goal to cut the Chiefs lead to 10-9. In the fourth quarter, Jeff Moore runs it in from 1 yard out. Ray Wershing hits the extra point, and the 49ers take a 16-10 lead. Then Nick Lowry hits a 39-yard field goal to cut the 49er lead to 16-13. Ray Wershing then hits a 34-yard field goal to extend the 49er lead to 19-13. And then Ronnie Lott picks off Bill Kenny and goes 83 yards to the end zone, and a 26-23 victory as Wershing adds the extra point. The game was played on outdoors on AstroTurf, as the Arrowhead Stadium in the 80s was covered in that green artificial surface. 27 degrees at kickoff with 10-mile-per-hour winds, causing a wind chill of 18. The 49ers were favored by 3 in this game, and they, of course, would win by 13. The over-under was 41. 39 was scored. Let's take a look at your leaders. Your leading passer amongst the two teams was Joe Montana of the 49ers, 20 of 35, 253 yards, 2 interceptions, sacked 3 times for 16-yard loss and a rating of 56.0. Your leading rusher in the game by 1 yard, Jeff Moore of the 49ers, 18 carries, 56 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a long of 10. He beat James Hadnot by 1 yard. Hadnot of the Chiefs had not won the rushing lead. Receiving leader, Dwight Clark of the 49ers, 4 receptions, 104 yards, and a long of 51. And on defense, Ronnie Lott, of course, the spectacular interception return. Eric Harris of the Chiefs had an interception that he took back 10 yards. And that's about it. So the 49ers win, and they they take the lead in the all-time series 2-1. This game can be found on YouTube for now until the NFL blocks it. So make sure you get out and watch it if you want to. And that's that for tonight. As far as my Super Bowl previews. Tomorrow we'll take a look at Super Bowl 19, the 49ers' second Super Bowl, and the 1985 battle between the 49ers and Chiefs. No Sack of the Future for me tonight. I might have something, I'm not sure. Hopefully John M. will have a couple Sack of the Future games, as he's the only one to go, and he's got 2. Oilers versus Jaguars, and a Monday night thriller for 1964 between the Giants and Eagles. It's Norm Snead against White Tittle. Oh, my mask is really off. Let me see if I can fix it. Anyway, so that's it for tonight. I'm Vinny Vincent saying so long, and God bless America.